Hi. Today I'm going to do a review of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Um, Probably not going to take super long, but we're going to go ahead and jump right in. And I'm going to be using a format from, well, not a format, the spoiler frequently asked questions that Rob Bricken did on io9.com. Basically, he does a question and answer with himself about movies. He did it with each of the Transformers movies, and now he's done it with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Basically, like Michael Bay films is what he does it with. So I'm going to use that as kind of a basis for the things that I want to talk about, because there's a lot. Not a lot. And that's actually, so, you know, the fact that I'm not able to, like, adequately put my thoughts together about this movie says a lot about this movie to me. I've been saying it's aggressively forgettable. If you've been thinking about going to see it, I wouldn't bother. Maybe wait until it comes to Netflix in a couple of years. If even then, you know, it's 2 hours long, so that's 2 hours of your life you're never getting back. If you want to watch a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, find the 1990 version, the live action with animatronics and everything, because that's a good film. That film has the nostalgia factor. You know, it's a little bit goofy, a little bit campy, but it plays it all really well. That's something that this new movie really misses out on, is they try pretty hard to make it a gritty reboot, first off, but also keep it lighthearted. Like, they try to tell jokes and stuff, but it all falls really, really flat. The jokes are really, they don't make you laugh, really. That's the biggest thing. A lot of that is because one of the big complaints I have with the movie is that Michelangelo, who we all know is the fun-loving, you know, surfer dude kind of turtle, is pretty rapey in this movie. When he sees April, he immediately, the thing that he says is, "Oh, I can feel my shell tightening." Get it? Because he's got a turtle erection. Yay, bestiality. Like, really, really bad. Bad. And if that was it, if that was the only one, I'd be able to forgive it. But it continues on throughout the film. Nothing as explicit as that, but it's still, like, throughout the whole thing, he's very definitely like, I'm gonna do that chick. Which actually leads into the 1.5 point, the 1.5 point that I want to make. Meaning it's like 0.1 subsection A. That's how I want to say it. There is so much sexual objectification that happens in this movie, specifically around April O'Neil, played by Megan Fox. Not just with Michelangelo, but like pretty much everybody in the film. Especially Will Arnett, who plays what's his name? Vern, I think. He's the cameraman for April, and he constantly is hitting on her. And at one point, there's a big action scene happening, and he's driving a semi. She leans out the window to do something, and he is like, "April, get back in here." And then he sees that her butt is sticking up in the air, and is like, "Oh, never mind, you're good," because he wants to look at her ass. Get it? Because he wants to look at her ass. Like, it's really, really, really terrible. And really, this entire... Vernon Fenwick is the name of the character. This entire review could just be me saying, it's terrible. And it might end up being that way. I apologize if it does, but that's really... Again, that's why I say it's aggressively forgettable. Because it's pretty aggressive and in your face about these certain aspects. But here's the thing. Without having looked it up, I couldn't have told you what the plot was. And I saw the movie. I went and saw it a week ago. And I couldn't tell you what the plot is. What I can tell you is it falls into a trope that is becoming more and more prevalent lately in movies, which is that nothing just happens. Everything is predetermined. They are the chosen one. And in this film, everything revolves around April. It turns out that she actually owned the turtles before they were mutated. Her dad worked in a lab that they were injecting the mutagen into the turtles, and that's what made them turn into grow into teenagers and stuff. And so it's not that, oh, it's just April is some random person who happened to stumble upon this thing. It's that, like, they were predestined to find each other. And I mean, that can work in some cases, but here it just really smacks of lazy writing. Why does April find the turtles? We better give them a history together. Why can't it just be that she finds them? Why do we have to have everything be interconnected? And again, that has a large part to do with the plot, because that's where the bad guy comes in and everything is he used to work with April's dad. And it's almost too convoluted, but at the same time really simplistic. And there's nothing redeeming about it, about the plot. Yeah, I can't think of a single thing that's redeeming about it. There's a piece in this, the Frequently Asked Questions, where Rob talks about that the writing is really lazy, and I agree with that absolutely. Again, with the piece of the turtles having been April's pets and everything, the writing is really lazy. And then the next question is, well, but yeah, it's for kids, so who cares if the writing is lazy? To that, I'll say, there have been so many great movies and TV shows aimed at kids lately that don't rely on that. They have excellent writing. Just because it's for kids doesn't mean that you can't have good writing. Like, it's just all about, for me, I do a little bit of writing, and I think it's about having pride in your writing, in yourself. And I can't imagine that whoever wrote this film has any pride whatsoever about it. Josh Applebaum, Andre Nemec, and Evan Doherty. I haven't heard of any of these people. That just, if I was them, I wouldn't put my name on this film. That's me. I feel like I have pride in my work. Anyways, so let's see. There's a couple of other things. The hyper realistic look of the turtles. I get what they were going for with it, but also I don't understand what was wrong with the classic beak look. Even the lips, I'm okay with. What's really weird to me is that, like, they almost look Voldemort-like. They don't actually have noses, but they've got nose slits, and that it just looks really, really weird. Like, really disturbing. Really, if we're going to come down to it, that's what it is disturbing. So, anyways, I don't want to make this too much longer. I could spend a lot of time talking about every single thing that is wrong with this film. But suffice it to say, I do not recommend it. I would give it, out of 10 stars, I'd say I'd give it a 2. The best thing I can say about... the best way that I can sum up my feelings on this movie. I took my nephew to see it. He's 6. And throughout the film, while we were sitting there watching it, he was consistently saying, when is the movie going to be over? When are the turtles going to be fighting? When is the movie going to be over? What's happening now? Because there wasn't anything holding his interest. At the end of the film, he did say that he really liked it, but I think that was because the last 15 minutes is pretty much all action. And so for him, that's what he remembers, is that last 15 minutes. So, even as a kid's movie, it fails. That's the best critique I can give of it, is that even a 6-year-old had trouble sitting through this movie. Even though he says that he likes it at the end, he really had trouble sitting through the film. So, yeah, don't bother with it. Save your money. Go watch the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a much better film. If you haven't already, like us on Facebook. We've got the Jason and Levi show on Facebook that I just made. And make sure you keep up with us on there. We'll be posting our videos and updates and what have you on there. So yeah, that's going to be all for me for this review. So we'll see you next time.